Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I am all about the Dollar Tree. I love going to the Dollar Tree and finding new things to make things for my home. I love making crafts, and the Dollar Tree makes it really affordable. And because we're getting ready for fall decorating, I have 10 very easy projects for your fall decorating without spending a lot of money. And every single one of these crafts can be done quickly and affordably without having a lot of specialized skills. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good! Let me show you how easy it is to take Dollar Tree decor and turn it into something look like you paid a lot more. I made a rhyme.
It all just goes away. The things I plan to say. Oh baby.
Hello my crafty friend. Like I said in the beginning, I have 10 very easy fall crafts that you can make with things that you find at Dollar Tree. I love going to the Dollar Tree. I am always finding new things that I can make something with. And right now, Dollar Tree is getting so many new things for fall. This is great news if you are ready to make some fall crafts. On my last trip to Dollar Tree, I found these, I guess they're ceramic or resin like animals. I found a hedgehog and I found a fox, and these are just the heads. Now I have seen these at Hobby Lobby, and of course they cost a lot more. So when I found them at the Dollar Tree, I was very excited. And I also found this little hedgehog. Oh my gosh, this is so adorable, so cute. But his paint job, you know, I thought maybe I could doctor that up a little bit. So this is actually going to be 3 projects. So I'm going to start with the hedgehog himself. Now he is cute, but I want to embellish it and make it look a little more high end. And one way to make something like this look like you paid more for it is, of course, you want to have a nice paint job. I just took acrylic paints and basically painted the hedgehog. I didn't go crazy on it. I did a little bit of dry brushing, especially for the body of the hedgehog. And then I did add a little bit of different colors for his ears, as well as his eyes and his nose too. And the hedgehog part of the hedgehog, the little bumpy parts on his back, and I repainted the back of the hedgehog. I did also repaint the pumpkin that the hedgehog is holding. And when I was happy with the hedgehog, the entire hedgehog, then I began to work on the hedgehog and the fox. These are just the heads. And again, these are from Dollar Tree. So I didn't have to do a whole lot. I literally just had to repaint a little bit of each of these characters. And I pretty much focused on the face, especially of the hedgehog. I just basically made his eyes and nose a little bit bigger and also repainted his mouth. The rest of the hedgehog was perfect, just like he was. And the fox was really easy to improve as well. Simply with a little bit of black paint and a very fine paintbrush, I just darkened the lines up a little bit of his eyes as well as his mouth. And for the first 3 projects, I think these were super simple. I didn't have to do anything fancy. I literally just repainted or touched up the paint of each of these different pieces. And I think they look great. And for my next project, have you seen the fall book stacks that they have at Dollar Tree? These are so pretty. I really, really like these. And one of the things that I like is they have 2 different versions. They have the long book stack as well as the tall book stack, and they're specifically made for fall. And these book stacks are really easy to embellish and make look a little bit fancier. So first I put a little bit of ribbon around the tall book stack. So I just want to really make this area pop. So I'm going to add some of my own ribbon. And I did secure that on all sides of the book stack. And I repeated this process on the long book stack too. So the book stack that looks like they're laying on their sides, they took a little bit of ribbon and just embellished it in the same place that the original ribbon was. And once I had that finished, I did go ahead and add a little bit of jute twine around, going over top of the ribbon area of the books, because I want to, again, make this look more high end. And then I took another piece of jute that I had put some beads on, and I just hot glued that to the book stack as well. And then I added a tiny jute bow. So then I wanted to embellish the tall one. I decided to add a little bit more fall ribbon, and this ribbon has pumpkins on it, and I thought that would look really nice. And for this stack of books, I'm going to be using some baker's twine that again is in fall color, so it's orange and white. And I'm just going to secure it in between the ribbons that I already have on this stack of books. I just tied it in the back and used a little bit of hot glue. Then I added a bow. And then I added some extra embellishments with a fall leaf and a half of a pumpkin. And here are my book stacks. I am really happy with how these turned out, and I didn't have to do a lot to embellish these or to make them look more high-end, and yes, they are from Dollar Tree. So I have to say that I am really happy with the quality of the products that Dollar Tree has been adding to, I guess, their inventory lately. And something that I found which was so pretty was this little sign. So in the middle of the sign it says bless, and then there are these beads and this bow on top, and it's just so pretty. And all I did was take my hot glue gun, put a little bit of hot glue down the center of the back of it, and then I attached it to a riser. So I made this with Dollar Tree items as well, and I just put that blessed onto it. So now I have like a centerpiece that I can use for my fall decorating. And this riser was really easy to make. I just used a Dollar Tree, a smaller burner cover, a candlestick, and a cake pan. And then I used spray paint to make everything white. And now I have this really pretty display that I can use in my fall decorating. Now, something else that's really neat that Dollar Tree always seems to have every year are different styles of window clings. Every single fall, I find all kinds of different types of window clings, and I wanted to show you how easy it is to incorporate this into your fall decor. Now, if you have scrap wood, you can make your own little sayings for tiered trays or just anything to add to your decor. So what I did was take some acrylic paints and paint these scrap pieces of wood in different colors for fall. And these are actually scraps of wood that I got from a surprise box on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description box. And once I had the scrap wood squares or rectangles painted, then I took some Mod Podge and I put it all over the painted surface of the wood. Then I took a window cling and put that on top of it. And once I had smoothed it down, I put a little bit more Mod Podge on top of the window cling and just smoothed it down again, because I really want to make sure that this window cling is going to stay in place. And this little sign is just about done. This one says gather. I repeated the process with other window clings as well. So first, on this orange painted scrap of wood, I attached another window cling and then just smoothed it down. If it's a larger window cling, you'll want to make sure that you really smooth it down, because you don't want air bubbles to be on the bottom of the window cling. Then I took some more Mod Podge and put that on the top to really secure it in place. And then I took another window cling, and I wasn't sure. I kind of liked this one with the flowers, but in the end I decided on the pumpkins. So again, I took more Mod Podge and then put the window cling in place. And you guessed it, I used a layer of Mod Podge to cover the cling. And with each of these window clings having so many individual clings, there are a lot of little embellished pieces of wood that you can make for your decorating. And by adding extra embellishments to these little blocks of wood, it really makes it look high-end and stand out from something that, say, you would get at the Dollar Tree. They are great additions to your tiered tray decorating, or even just incorporating into a little group of items that you have for your decor. Now, something else that the Dollar Tree always seems to have every year are these little straw bales. These are so cute, and they are $1.25 a piece, which is very affordable because if you want to buy a decorated straw bale on Etsy, it's going to run about $10 to $12 per bale. First, you just open up the straw bales, and then you add some embellishments. For mine, I have this Dollar Tree material. It's kind of a fall plaid, and I just wrap that around the center of the bale of straw. It's easy to put the embellishments in place, like the ribbons, with a little bit of hot glue. And I just used the hot glue all the way around the bale and secured all of the material in place. And once that was secured, then I came back with a couple of different types of twine. So I have some baker's twine that's in white and orange, and I also have this jute twine that is orange, which is perfect for my fall decorating. I just tied that into a knot on the back of the bale of straw. And then I did make a bow to go on the front of the bale. I just put a little bit of hot glue and then secured the bow in place, and now I have a very pretty straw bale for my fall decorating. And you don't have to do the material. If you have some ribbon, you can use ribbon as well. So for this little straw bale, I just have this, I don't know what this is. It's very popular in the fall. Is it black watch plaid? I don't even know. But this is like a farmhouse plaid. So all I did was put some ribbon around the straw bale, glue it in place, and then I added a bow that I made. And they are so cute, and they make a really nice addition to your tiered tray or any area that you're decorating for fall. Now, every once in a while when I go to Dollar Tree, I am able to find the wooden houses. Sometimes they have the little wooden houses and sometimes they have the bigger ones. This last time I went to a different Dollar Tree and I found these houses. They are so cute. They're a lot larger than the wooden houses that I'm used to finding at Dollar Tree. And this one actually had an embellishment on the front, so I went ahead and removed that. And I also removed the top edges, which is the roof line of the house. Then I used some craft sticks and cut them down to the size that would be the roof line, and I glued 2 craft sticks together. Now, while my roof line was drying, then I came back to the house and I put Mod Podge all over top of it. Now, this house had material on it, so I did have to do a pretty thick coat of Mod Podge. Then, using some craft paper that's themed for Thanksgiving and fall, I pressed that onto the front of the house with the Mod Podge. Then I used my scraping tools to really make sure that it was secured in place on the house. Now, once it had a little bit of time to dry, I did come back with some scissors and cut that paper down so that it's going to fit onto that house a little bit better. And then, using a Dollar Tree sanding block, I sanded down all of the edges. These sanding blocks are so nice to have for your craft room, because if you're doing a project like this, it gives a kind of rustic look to the piece. So I just did the sanding block all the way around the edges of the house, and that will help to remove the edges of the paper that overhang. Next, I came back to my craft stick roof, and I used some antiquing wax, and I put that all over the front and the top and the bottom and the sides of the craft sticks. I wasn't too worried about the back because I'm going to glue those in place. Then I removed the excess wax with a towel. Now, while my roof line was drying, I did come back with some burnt umber paint and I went around the outside of the house. So not the back, it's just the sides, the top, everywhere a side is showing because I wanted it to be a darker color. I didn't want it to be the natural color. But I wanted to blend that side into the front of the house a little bit. So I came back with a chip brush. I think this is a 1.5 inch chip brush, and I lightly brushed some of that burnt umber paint all the way around, like the outline of the house. Next, I came back with a Dollar Tree foam pumpkin, one of the small ones, and I cut it in half, which I'm going to be using in a minute. But next I attached the roof to the house. Then I came back with some jute twine and securing it to the back of the house. I wrapped it around so that the different strands will show. So it's not all gathered up in one line. It's actually spread out across the house. And once that part was done, then I came back with the half pumpkin and I glued that to the front of the house. And just for one little extra piece, I went ahead and put a little shoestring bow on top of the pumpkin. And here's an easy project. Look at that, so easy, and it looks great. I think this is a great addition to my fall decorating this year. So far, all of these crafts have been super simple to do, and I'm betting you could probably get these done in an afternoon if you had a nice block of time to do some crafting. Now, one thing that the Dollar Tree that I go to all the time seems to have a lot of are frames. And I thought it would be fun to turn a picture frame from the Dollar Tree into a piece of fall art. And I really liked the frame of this 5x7 inch picture frame from Dollar Tree. So after I removed everything from the frame, including the glass, the back, everything, then I came back with some folk art sheepskin chalk paint and I painted the entire frame. I really made sure to get the front, the back, sides, anything that could potentially show, I want to coat with this chalk paint. And once that first coat had dried, what I did was come back with some more of that sheepskin chalk paint, but I did add in some salt wash. Now, salt wash is fun because it does give some texture. For the second layer of paint, I just kind of pounced it on over top of the first layer. This makes it so you can see lots of different texture in the frame. And I just worked my way around the frame. Then I found a really nice pumpkin on, I don't even know where I found this, somewhere online in somebody's printable library. And I copied it onto a heavier cardstock paper and then I cut it out. And I didn't want the edges to look like they were freshly cut out, so I did take some sandpaper and run that all the way around the edges of the pumpkin. Then I had this black, I think it's called black tuxedo cardstock. I cut it to fit the frame size. Then I put a little bit of Mod Podge on it and then put the pumpkin to the cardstock. Then I just used a little bit more Mod Podge and really worked it down so that this is going to adhere more like a glue than anything else. And yes, I did get a little heavy-handed with the Mod Podge, but that was intentional because then I came back with a Dollar Tree stiff brush paintbrush, and then I just kind of pounced into the Mod Podge because I want to give this some texture and look more like a painting than just two pieces of paper that I put together. I also did a coat of Mod Podge on the frame itself. And once that was dry, all I had to do was take the cute little pumpkin picture and put it into the frame, put the back on, and now I have a piece of art. But I decided I wanted to add a little bit more. So I came back with some fall ribbon, and I just cut strips of this ribbon and then also cut, I don't know, it's a swallow's tail or a dove's tail, but I did that on all edges of this ribbon. So I had 2 little plaid pieces of ribbon. Then I had some larger brown and white gingham ribbon that I did the same thing to. And then I added some other ribbon. So I have a whole bunch of ribbon that I'm going to gather up using some floral wire. And I'm going to turn this into a more rustic or messy bow. Messy bows are so much fun to make and they're easy. Then I secured that to the corner of my picture frame, but I did want to add a little bit more orange, so I added some more ribbon, and there's my pumpkin picture. This project was very easy to do, and I think it looks really high end. It definitely doesn't look like something that came from Dollar Tree. That texture around the picture frame, I think that really adds a level of something special to the project. Now, in one of my more recent fall videos, I showed you how I took a pumpkin and I made it look kind of like a cutting board. I was trying to make it look like wood. Well, I wanted to duplicate that process, so I decided to take another one of those pumpkins and some scrapbooking paper that looks like wood and see if I could make a wood pumpkin riser. So first I measured off the pumpkin onto the paper and then cut the paper down to size so that it would cover up the entire pumpkin. Then I used some Mod Podge and put a pretty substantial coat of it onto the pumpkin. Next I took the paper and I just pressed that down onto the pumpkin, and I also flipped it over and repeated that just to really make sure this is stuck on. Then I removed a lot of that excess and used a Cricut scraping tool to really make sure that this paper is secured down to the pumpkin. I did use my fingers a little bit to kind of go along the outline of the pumpkin. And then I came back with a scraping tool because that puts a really nice indentation into the paper so you can really see the edge of the pumpkin. Next, I came back with some sandpaper and just removed all of the excess paper from the pumpkin. Now this is going to be a riser. So I've got these little wood turnings. I think they're like wood cabinet handles or drawer pulls. And I used some Dollar Tree wood glue, and I secured 4 of those onto the bottom of the pumpkin. Then I came back to the top of the pumpkin and I added in some more Mod Podge. Now again, yes, I get heavy-handed with the Mod Podge. I don't know why, I just like Mod Podge, I guess. Then I wanted to add some cookies, so I made some cookies using Sculpey clay, and then I used some orange hot glue. It's kind of a glossy color to be the frosting for the pumpkins. Now this was so much fun, but each pumpkin really used a lot of the orange hot glue sticks. And I think I'm going to try to make cookies using like air dry clay, because the Sculpey clay, that is really expensive just to make 7 cookies, because it took 2 packages of the Sculpey clay to make 7 cookies. Oh! I also did use some orange glitter hot glue, but I really like the way that just the solid orange looks on these cookies. It really looks like frosting. And here are my pumpkins on my wooden pumpkin riser. These are so cute. They turned out really nice, and I really love how the wood riser turned out. You could use this for your tier tray. You could use it in any part of your fall decorating. Now, weren't those projects easy? They didn't take a lot of time. They didn't take a lot of materials other than the Dollar Tree items that I bought. And I hope that I showed you don't have to be talented or gifted when it comes to painting or crafting or anything like that. You just have to use your imagination and you can make some really nice crafts. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And if you click the bell notification, you'll get an alert every time I have a new video coming out. I hope that I've showed you how easy it is to find some Dollar Tree items and add just little extras to take the look of Dollar Tree decor and turn it into something so much more. I did it again. I made another rhyme. I am just on a rhyming spree or something, I think. I hope to see you in my next video.